This is exercise 2.8, spaces and numbers. Write nested for loops to produce the following output. So you can see here that the following output is a number triangle with spaces. So the triangle is aligned to the right. Now you can think of this as a rectangle instead of a triangle, where we have two triangles, one made of spaces, so it's like an upside down triangle of spaces, and then we have this right side up triangle of numbers. We're going to be using the methods that we used back in 2.6 and 2.7 to create the triangles. So if you guys haven't seen that video already, go ahead and look at those videos. And to solve this problem, we're going to be using a nested for loop. So to start, for int I equals 1. We start with 1 because the first number we print out is 1. I equals 1 and I is less than or equal to 5. We say less than or equal to 5 because the last number we print out is 5. We need to run this for loop 5 times. So what this is doing is it's telling the computer, continue running the for loop as long as I is less than or equal to 5. Then we say I plus plus because the numbers are increasing here by 1. Inside this for loop, we're going to create a for loop to print out this upside down triangle with the spaces. So we say for int j, we're using a different variable here, equals 0, and j is less than 5 minus I. Now we say this because the number of spaces is equal to 5 minus I. So if we take a look at this first row, for example, I is equal to 1, and the number of spaces here is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 minus 1 is 4, and so we have 4 spaces, and that goes for every single row. Then we say j plus plus, because we're going to be adding the spaces one by one. Inside of this for loop, we're going to print out the spaces, so system.out.print, and print out a space, and move on. Next, outside of this for loop, but still inside the first for loop, we're going to create another for loop to create this right side up number triangle. So we're going to say int k, we need to use a different variable every time. So int k equals 0, and k is less than I, because we want to print I times. We want to print 1 time. We want to print 2 times. We want to print 3 times, so on and so forth. So we say k less than I. We keep running the program as long as k is less than I. Then we say k plus plus because we're going to be adding the numbers one by one. Inside of this for loop, we're going to print out the number. System.out.print I. And outside this for loop, but it's still inside the first for loop, we're going to say system.out.println, just so that we can move on to the next line before increasing I by 1. Click submit, and it gives us a passing result.